And we're back. Thank you so much for choosing to stay with us. Now, today, right here at Kenya's Gold, we decided that you will understand in depth on all matters greenhouses, and Mike is making sure that we live up to those expectations. Thank you so much for having so much knowledge and sharing it with us. Now, just continuing with the conversation on why you need to go for a greenhouse. Right now, more than ever, there's the conversation on climate change. We are all complaining about how hot today is. Now, probably you can talk to us, being an expert in urban farming and greenhouse as well. How does using these structures help in promoting a sustainable ecosystem?
Yeah, for greenhouse, as we said, we use them to make sure that we are able to control the environment and the surrounding. With the drought that have been there, we are able to produce our crops 365 days in a year. That means you don't have the seasons in a greenhouse production. Mm-hmm. When we come to food production, we also go vertical, and we are able to multiply this space into more than 10 times. Now going vertically in urban areas or in urban farming, whereby now we introduce other technologies like hydroponic, mm-hmm. which we've been doing like in the urban dwellers where they don't have sufficient fresh vegetables. Mm-hmm. You are able to come together and do a greenhouse, install hydroponic vertical system that are able to produce more than 10 times what we are able to produce on the soil. And that brings now the aspect of the drought and the sustainable agriculture in terms of production. Mm-hmm. We are able to produce our food all throughout the year. Mm-hmm. We also reduce the wastage in water. Mm-hmm. Because water is also a challenge. Like you go to the maybe like northeastern where you find like water, there is scarcity in water. In hydroponic system, we save over 80% of water. Mm-hmm. So that means you just need like 20 liters with a greenhouse of maybe 8 meters by 8 meters mm-hmm. To irrigate in a day. Whereas in the open field, you need 1,000 liters of water to make sure that you irrigate that. Great. That means when there is that much drought, you cannot be able to sustain your crops mm-hmm. when you're on the open field, but on the greenhouse, you are able to produce much more. Yeah.
So all through the year, we are growing crops.
Yeah.
Great.
Kwa makala ambayo tumetazama kule, yule bingwa anapanda moja kwa moja kwa udongo, lakini pia naona hapa unatumia tray. Tofauti ni nini kati yazo mbili, kwa sababu naona pia kuna manufaa baadaye?
What we do with the seedling propagation on the trays is that we maximize on the germination rate. We are sure about 85 to 95 germination rate, mm-hmm. so we don't lose much on the seed germination. Number two, the transplant shock that normally occurs when you do it direct from the soil, mm-hmm. now on the seedling trays is not there, because when you are getting the seedling, it comes with the whole root system. And now when you transplant on the ground or your field, the seedling just catch up very quickly, and they mature very fast. It's not like on the soil where when you uproot, you damage the roots, and when you transplant, hiyo mmea inafikiria kama itaendelea ama haitaendelea. But now with the seedlings, with the trays, remember on the trays we also don't have seed-borne diseases, because we use soil-borne diseases. There are no soil-borne diseases on the trays, because we use inert media like cocoa peat, the ground coconut husk. Mm-hmm. We use like peat moss. Mm-hmm. Those are inert media that we use here. They don't have any contamination, and you are able to control any contaminant that may contaminate that media. When it comes to the soil, there are so many soil-borne diseases in different areas, and maybe sometimes they are brought by water or weed, but now when you propagate on that ground and you transfer that to the other field, that means you contaminate the other field that does not have the contamination or the soil-borne diseases, and that means you damage your soil. Mm-hmm. So that's now where we have the difference.
All right.
Yeah.
Now we've understood some of the crops that we can grow in a greenhouse. But I would like for you to expound for us, what can I not grow in a greenhouse?
Because of the cost of the greenhouse, we normally recommend that you grow something that makes economical sense. Like you cannot just grow maize in a greenhouse or even beans. Those needs the large tracts of land to produce those cereals. For a greenhouse, for you to get enough returns, you need to make sure that you focus on what you will be able to get proper maximum returns within a short period of time. Than having a greenhouse, you grow such crops for a longer period. So it's basically for greenhouse, you need to grow something like the horticultural, high value horticultural products and herbs.
Are fruit trees possible?
It's possible, but they don't make sense to grow within a small area, because you also need your greenhouse to be very tall for you to have the fruit trees. The only fruits maybe that would drive here very well and make economical sense is strawberries.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turejelee swala la upanzi wakati upo kutumia tray au vile vile kupanda moja kwa moja kwa udongo. Yule mkulima anahitajika zingatie swala gani anapoweka mbolea kwa mbegu yake?
Wakati una kuza mimea yako kwa propagation seedling tray, when you first get the inert media, you clean it and make sure that it is inert, is free from any diseases. You put it on the tray, you get the seed and you sow one seed per groove or the hole. Then you start watering. Once the seeds, they germinate and they sprout, that's when now, because they will be able to germinate with the internal seed energy, the energy that is in the seed. Once it breaks now and germinate, they're able to grow with that energy. But when they start producing like 2 true leaves, they now need food. That's now where you inject with the foliar fertilizers or the other nutrient that you inject in terms of fertigation in liquid form. Yeah.
Now, you've talked very broadly on the advantages of using a greenhouse, and there's a farmer somewhere who's probably inspired to try using one. If I want to get into that space, where do I get professional expertise for someone who can come assess my space so that they guide me, construct it here, not here, because of this and that. This is the height that is required. Where can I go to make sure I get that? And also not just for someone who's probably in Nairobi, in the rural areas, grassroots communities. Are these services and awareness disseminated enough for these farmers?
Yeah, greenhouse farming is something that now imekuwa ikitambaa kila mahali, maeneo mingi, ambapo tunapata wataalamu tumekuwa wengi kwa kilimo ya greenhouse. And sana sana kwa greenhouse tunasema hauhitaji kukuwa na ile ujuzi mingi ya kutengeneza greenhouse. Ni kitu ya fabrication kidogo, unaonyeshwa fanya, kunja hivi chuma, tengeneza, na ni vitu ya kumount na kufix. Kwa hivyo haihitaji ujuzi mingi, lakini wataalamu tuko wengi ambapo tunasaidia wakulima na kutengeneza greenhouse. Bali na hiyo, tunasema ule mkulima ambaye ako mahali popote, hauhitaji, si lazima ukue na chuma ambayo tunasema is quite costly. Unaweza ukaenda greenhouse na miti, unaweza kuwa na miti utengeneze kama vile tu nyumba inatengenezwa. Juu ni kukava na karatasi, kando tunatengeneza na neti. Kwa hivyo haina mambo mingi ya bioteknolojia ambayo itakutatiza sana kutengeneza. Lakini pale sisi vijana ambao tumeingia kwa kilimo, tunaendelea kusaidia na kuhimiza vijana wengine waingie kwa kilimo biashara.
Wakati wewe unafanya kuzungumza na vile vile kuelimisha vijana wengi, ni makosa yepi ambayo yanajitokeza wakati mtu anaamua kuingia kwa greenhouse?
Sana sana makosa yanatokea ambapo unakuja unaona greenhouse, unasema pia mimi nataka nifanye greenhouse kesho, alafu hujafanya utafiti kwanza ukajua kama mchanga ambapo nitaweka hii greenhouse ama ni teknolojia gani nitaweka kama mchanga yangu iko contaminated. Kwa hivyo ukishajenga greenhouse ndio unakuja unapoanza kupanda mimea yako ndio unagundua na kumbe mchanga yangu haiwezi fanya vizuri kwa mmea fulani na fulani kwa sababu labda mchanga iko contaminated.
Okay.
Na sana hiyo inatokea wakati umekuwa na ile hamu ya kufanya kitu lakini hujafanya utafiti sana ukajua manufaa ya greenhouse na changamoto ambazo zinaweza zikakukamba wakati unalima kwa greenhouse.
Very quickly, you can tell us what material is this that this greenhouse has been made with, and also what are the other options that a farmer can use besides this?
Yeah, these are steel, they are loud tubes. We also have the insect net on the side to make sure that we have...
In the structure?
That is a polythene film. It's a 200 microns. Yeah, that allows the UV to penetrate and supply enough light to the crops.
And if I'm not going to use this, is there any other option?
You can use the shade net, but now that comes with some other challenges when it comes to the heavy lanes.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So, sawa sana Bwana Mike Njeri kwa ufafanuzi wako mkubwa sana. Miaka midogo kweli kweli. Umesema mliingia mwaka 2016?
2016. Yeah.
Sasa kazi safi kabisa umesikiza kutoka kwake taratibu tangu zindua hadi sasa tunafika ukoko. Amemiminika maarifa kwako, umeandika, naamini kwamba utakwenda kutekeleza. Kutoka kwangu Emmanuel Terer nasema salia na Mwenyezi Mungu, kumbuka tatimiza ndoto.
All right, now that's all the time that we did have for you today. We've come to the end of the show. Definitely not a bad way to kick off this very first day of this week. And I do have, in place of my parting shots, a farm joke of the day. And I want Terer and Mike to give me the answer to my question. So how did the two farmers start dating? How did the two farmers start dating? Give me an answer. You have 1 second to think, Mike.
Mvua ilitokea, wakakimbia kutafuta mwavuli.
Okay, all right. Mike, how did the two farmers start dating?
Nadhani ni wakati wa seed.
And the answer is, it was organic. Kukimbia mvua imetoka.
Si utakutana.
Yes, that is my daddy's joke and farm joke of the day. Thank you so very much, Mike, for making time to be with us today and sharing so much knowledge on all matters greenhouses. A big thanks to the team that is working so hard to make this production a success. And finally, our viewers for choosing to be with us every single day of the week. We say a very big thanks. Now allow us to wrap it up now. We'll see you again tomorrow. We do have a brilliant show because right here in studio we'll be joined by a very young man who has been awarded in Ethiopia with the best coffee from Kenya. We do want to stick around for that. My name is Violet Angina. See you tomorrow.